It is another week. I cannot believe it's ready already. My God, this went fast. And it's super fucking early in the morning for me, and I worked super late last night. So let's fucking see what we get. Yeah, sponsors, same sponsors. If anybody does want to sponsor the podcast, I would love anything really. Not just monetary, but if we could do bartering as well, especially lotion and like CBD, anything that's gonna help everybody. God, fuck. I'm not even gonna try again. We're gonna keep going. So, sponsors, anybody, you can email us at joyshappyendings@gmail.com. We still have Blue Apron. Blue Apron, honestly though, I have used this service. I love this service. This service is where they shop for you. They send the shit stuff to you, and the recipe, and all you have to do is cook. It's all pre-measured, and it's awesome. It's a very cool service. And if you use blueapron.com/happyendings, which is BLUEAPRON.com/HAPPYENDINGS, you get 30% off your first box. Seriously, this is something that you could give as a gift. Somebody that thinks they know how to cook and doesn't know how to cook, and you can subtly tell them, fucking learn how to cook. Here's a box with food in it. Famous Smoke Shop is another sponsor that we have, which is super cool because they are sponsors in Philadelphia, where we actually have a pretty good following. So that's awesome that they brought on Famous Smoke Shop. You can get cigars, for after you deal with your family on Christmas and you just want to drink and smoke your life away because everybody told you all of your mistakes that you made through the past year. You can use Famous Smoke Shop and use either Hot 20, which is HOT20, and get $20 off a purchase of $145 or more, or Hot 10, which is HOT10, and you get $10 off a purchase of $85 or more. So depending on how fucked up your family is, you may want to order more, you may want to order less. Handy app, if you're inviting family over for the holidays and you don't have time to fucking clean, or you know that it's just not going to be clean enough to make them happy, you can use AppSave30, which is APPSAVE30, and you get 30% off your first booking. Handy app not only cleans, though, they do everything. Like, they have someone for anything that you need. If you need to build a new toy that you bought, you got your girlfriend knocked up on Thanksgiving and now you have to build a crib, like shit like that, Handy app is there for you. Shoe Dazzle. We all know I am a shoe whore, which is probably the only girly thing that I've got going for me. Shoe Dazzle, if you use the promo code Happy Shoes, which is HAPPYSHOES, you get $10 off your first box. They send shoes to you based on a quiz that you take, and you can cancel it at any time. You can pause it. Fucking cool service. And then we have Dollar Days. Dollar Days is a bulk website, which is a super cool website. I actually like just looking around in that website. And if you use Happy Endings 20, which is HAPPYENDINGS20, you get $20 off a purchase of $200 or more, which is very easy to do. Or Happy Endings Ship, which is HAPPYENDINGSSHIP. You get shipping flat rate for $9.95. So this episode is Tom Rhodes. Tom Rhodes is a comedian that I looked up to immediately when I first saw him on stage. His cadence is fantastic. His voice is one of my favorite voices because I have started to learn that I have a voice fetish, which, okay, there we go. But Tom Rhodes, you should look up his specials. He is a very talented comedian. And if you guys could subscribe, comment, send emails, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello. All right. We are on. Okay. Are you comfortable?
Very much.
All right. Is there anything I can do?
Oh, my God.
All right.
You're getting closer. Oh, that's it. Right there. If you go up. I had a massage in Hong Kong in April.
Okay.
And you had the choice where you could do like a soft oil massage or a deep tissue massage. And I thought, I want to get a deep tissue massage. And it was this older Chinese man in his 60s.
I bet he's good.
No.
Aww.
This guy, made me pay for the opium wars. He punished me.
Oh.
He turned me sideways, and I was like, I'm like trusting him being limber. He put his whole body on my side, like his hip on my hip, and with his elbow, he put his elbow up on my jaw and my jawline to my chin, and he turned my head like he was with his whole body stretching out, and my neck has been fucked ever since then. I've had this like shooting pain right here in my neck
Okay.
to my upper shoulder, and I think I need to go get an MRI or something.
Yeah? How long? Oh, you said April.
April, man. I've been in pain all year.
Shit. Does it anything trigger it, or is it always there?
No, and then when I turn my head sometimes I can hear it pop. So I wonder if it wouldn't be like vertebrae out of place. I would know that. Yeah, right there where your finger is. That's the fucking spot. Oh my god.
Feel it.
What can you feel?
Okay, I don't know if you can feel it popping.
Yeah, I can feel it pop. Yeah.
So it's just the muscle is super tight, and it's probably pulling on the cervical area.
Jesus Christ.
No, just joy. Stupid joke, but I tell all the patients.
Get undressed, get under the sheets. Ooh, you're in for a treat. No, I promise this is not a dream. It's just a happy ending with Joy Eileen.
By the way, I guess I have Tom Rhodes on the table.
Yay.
Boom. I'm excited. I was trying, when I saw you, I was like, okay, don't fangirl. I'm pretty sure my ears are nice and bright red. They like to do. So, yeah, you're not straight.
What do you think? Yeah, you're a professional.
Yeah, you've got some muscles out. But we'll fix you.
So you think the neck problem is just a muscle?
I do. I don't think anything's
Because
broken.
I can't afford an MRI.
Right. You can. One of the reasons I got married. That's how he proposed. He's like, you get married to me, you'll have insurance. I was like, fucking let's go to Vegas.
Wow.
I like Vegas.
I like healthcare.
Right, I like healthcare. I can do what I want and still go to the doctor. All right. So do you get massages normally?
I think I haven't in a while, not since Hong Kong.
Okay.
But I've always felt like getting massages for your body, like changing your oil for a car.
Right.
It's just something you need to do, a couple times a year. So I'm a fan.
Now, I know you travel like everywhere. Have you gotten massages different places
All
besides?
over the world, yeah.
Oh, that is so cool. That kind of made me happy.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite things about Asia is, like, you go to Thailand, and, Thailand is like the internet. It's whatever you want it to be. You can go there for spiritual purposes. You can go there to be a scumbag or whatever. My favorite thing about Thailand, other than watermelon milkshakes,
Okay.
are these, like, ancient Thai massages for, like $5-10.
Right.
What you would pay like $100 for in LA. And the temple in Bangkok, where it's great. You can take a water taxi right to this temple. It's on, and in the back of the temple is a massage school where they teach the ancient Thai massage.
Oh, that's so.
So you're in a room with like 50 other people, and it's it's not by yourself in a room or something, but it's like $6.
Okay.
And I really like entering a temple to get massaged. I think is very cool.
I could see that. No, yeah, because the energy has to be just so calming and like, okay, they obviously know what they're doing.
Yeah, and it's not like a happy ending massage. It's like you're getting the ancient art of Thai massage.
Right, your body's going to be manipulated the way it needs to be manipulated. I had a Vietnam vet. He actually passed away, and he had his hip replacement done in Thailand. And same thing. He was like, Joy, I go and I get these massages, and they were like $25, and the girls were awesome. And I saw him like every week until he got sick. But
yeah, that's Thailand's big for cosmetic surgery vacations and people going there to get cheaper medical treatments. And I've heard about it. People will hang out there for like a few weeks or a month and get massaged and
just heal.
heal, sip fruit milkshakes.
Anything with milkshakes works.
So how did the veteran die?
He was sick for a very long time. I didn't do it, I promise. It wasn't me. But no, he got really sick. He was having heart problems. He had open heart surgery. And he had a lot of tragedy. His daughter passed away unexpectedly. His son got popped for doing some things with younger girls. And so he was just kind of one thing after the other, and he wasn't able to just recover from it. And I think his spirit kind of...
And he just wanted to check out
Yeah.
the Life Hotel.
Exactly. He was too crushed.
It happens.
Yes, it more than people think.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have some type of a will to keep going.
So what was the place like that you got the massage in April? What was that like?
It was in a very upscale neighborhood in Hong Kong. And, that's why I trusted it. And then it was a very nice spa. And you had to go up to like the 5th floor. It was this kind of expensive shopping area. And that's why I thought, like cheap-looking, shady places I wouldn't trust.
Yeah.
But like if you're in Bali or Thailand on the beach, usually there's people that'll come around, or like hotels will have setups on the beach where a masseuse will be, or even just on like remote beach areas, somebody will be there, and you see them sitting there going, one tourist after another, and you'll see. I remember I was in line in Bali, and the woman had done this like very rotund British woman, and she was so tired after it, she goes, I need to take a break for a minute. But that's always lovely when you're on a tropical Asian beach.
Right.
Ooh, right there. Oh, Jesus. You feel that knot? Oh, my Lord. Jesus.
Got it.
Wow.
Yeah, you're nice. You can tell you travel.
Yeah, I'm sitting on airplanes.
Airplanes are the devil.
Yeah, wow. Ooh, fuck.
Yeah. Now, have you ever done like any other treatment besides massage?
What do you mean?
Like acupuncture?
Oh, no.
No. Because Chinese acupuncture and Japanese acupuncture are actually completely different. And I knew an acupuncturist, and she went here to school for acupuncture. And I guess America only accepts the Chinese acupuncture methods. And she just wasn't feeling it, and she actually went to Japan and learned how to do the Japanese method. And she's like one of the only ones around here that knows how to do that type of acupuncture. So I was just wondering, because you have like, I don't know, I feel like when you're in the Asian areas, you have access to some amazing healing methods.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust it.
No?
No.
And I've never had it. I'm a hypocrite. I'm the biggest hypocrite you'll ever meet.
You feel that? That's where I carry all my stress on my shoulders.
On top of the trap, yeah.
Wow. Oh my God.
Now, do you think when you told the guy you wanted deep tissue, he was just like, okay?
I think there was some racism involved on what he did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he, I don't know if you're familiar with the Opium Wars, but the English did very terrible things, got all of China addicted to opium so they could trade with them, and crushed the country, made them pay reparations, which they couldn't, and then that kicked off the second Opium Wars. And, they were already super impoverished, but what the English did to China set them back a few hundred years, and, they did nice things in the development of Hong Kong, but nonetheless, this guy, I think he was intentionally trying to hurt them.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, there's been times I've done it.
Yeah.
Where, big macho guy is, okay, let's see what you can do. I like deep pressure. And I'm like, okay, I can do deep. And
yeah. I always say please and thank you. I try to have manners.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe the guy had an argument with his wife or something. Who knows?
Right. Maybe you look like his son.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So what do you think that is? That's just stress or airplane seats?
You know what? Normally, it's not just one thing. It's a combination of everything, because people are like, what can I do to get rid of this? And unless you stop living, it's always going to be something. Either it's the phone, the computer, the traveling, the way you walk, the way you carry things. It's normally just the way your body moves. And if you don't pay attention to it, which most of us don't, we will hold our body in a specific way, and that muscle will just tighten up the way it needs to. Because knots in a way are protection for you, because it's something, either your body is doing something repetitive, and that muscle, they don't want that muscle to tear, so it starts thickening up and getting bunched together. And then you just need to let your body know, like, you can release. So my dorky way of thinking of it. And then also you can get lactic acid buildup, where if you work out or you move a lot, that's when you get really sore, when you go into oxygen debt. There's many different ways to have knot, and I don't think one specific thing makes a knot, if that makes sense. Now, where was your favorite place you traveled to?
That's a tricky question. Paris is my favorite city in the world.
Okay.
I love Paris. Just the baguettes for $1.10 are so insanely good. And cheeses. There's this food street I discovered a couple years ago called Rue Montaguille. Mm-hmm. And there's a patisserie shop. It's the oldest patisserie in Paris, made in 1730 for the King of France. And I follow him on Instagram. I was never a big sweets guy, and then I stopped drinking alcohol 5 years ago. And since then, I love sweets. I think it's, all the sugar and booze. My body wants sugar. Mm-hmm. And everybody's so anti-sugar, but fuck that. I love sugar. Mm-hmm. Love ice cream. But this place, oh my God, their fruit tarts are insane. I had a fig tart the last time I was there. Just absolute art what these people do. I followed, it's called Storer, Stohrer, Storer. And I follow them on Instagram, and I even follow the patisserie chef. That's how much I love it.
Like, what are you doing?
So when I land in Paris, it's usually, and they do, and I've talked about it on Bill Burr's podcast, where they also, at lunchtime, they have the most incredible sandwiches on baguettes. And I always tell people, when you go there, get two. So when you're walking around an hour later and you say to yourself, God damn, I wish I'd have bought another sandwich. You got it.
You got it. Oh, look it. Surprise.
Yeah. Chicken and avocado is good. It's all good. Jamon and fromage. There's like so many great, like in Spain, they do this shaved, cured pig leg. Jamon serrano. In Barcelona, it's everywhere. There's little shops where you can buy it in little white paper cones. I love Amsterdam. I mean, I fell in love with Amsterdam. I moved there.
Okay.
Lived in Amsterdam for 5 years. I think Peru is probably my favorite trip I ever took. I love Peru. I'd love to go back there. I love ancient cultures.
Right.
So going to Machu Picchu was a thrill. I've been to Chichen Itza, Mexico, twice. That was the Rome of the Mayan Empire. Mm-hmm. I've been to Angkor Wat in Cambodia. And, Jesus, what's left? Easter Island and the pyramids, which I don't have much desire to go to either.
Okay. Now, would you
I've been to the Great Wall of China 3 times. And I've kissed 4 different women at the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Okay.
Yeah. I married the last one.
That's a good job.
That was my big litmus test and big love stories. Take them to Paris and take them to the top of the Eiffel Tower. But now, since they had the terrorist attacks in Paris a few years ago, now there's so much security to get into the Eiffel Tower. I don't recommend going there. What's nicer thing to do is to go to Rue Montaguille and buy baguettes. There's like 3 cheese shops and meat shops and fish shops and vegetable shops and Storer, the greatest patisserie place. You go there and get wine and all the nice foodstuffs and take the metro to Odeon, and then you have to take it's a different train, but the metro ticket works. And you can take it right to the Eiffel Tower, and on the grass lawns around the Eiffel Tower, it's nicer. You go there like an hour before the sun sets and have a nice picnic with your friends or whoever you're with. And after the sun sets, then the lights come on the Eiffel Tower. So it's nicer to sit on the grass and look up at it, I think. now, since all the security kind of killed the experience.
Right. Have you always been a romantic?
I have.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. I had 2 jock, bully, thug older brothers who beat the shit out of me, and everything. I've been called a faggot 9 million trillion times in my life before I left the parental home. And, any sign of femininity, I've never had a problem with showing your feminine side as a man, or and especially is a great thing about being a comedian. Like, I've always had gay friends, always had friends of every flavor, and sexual orientation, and that's the thing I love about comedy the most. It doesn't matter, where you're from, if you're rich or poor, black or white, gay or straight. It's if you're funny.
Yes.
And it's the great equalizer.
I agree.
And, I consider those people my, it's like being in an exclusive club of fighter pilots or something.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people have the talent to do it. And then it's an even lesser percentage of those who do it well.
Right.
And then traveling the world, I've got friends all over the world, comedian friends. I went to Mongolia for the second time a few months ago. And there's a great club in Mongolia.
Yeah.
Called the UB Comedy Club. The capital of Mongolia is called Ulaanbaatar, and they call it UB City for short. So it's the UB Comedy Club. And it's a great club, and it's, all Mongolians, and the Mongolian comedians are really into it. They listen to the podcast, they watch the specials, current and past. They're obsessed with it.
That is awesome. See, that's funny, though, because I have 3 boys, and we kind of have the opposite in our house, because I tell each and every one of them, whichever one is gay is going to be my favorite. Like, if you want to be my favorite, just be gay. Because I always panic because I'm going to be the consummate mother-in-law. I'm going to be the mother-in-law. So, and I'm not a huge fan of girls. So, I'm like, why don't you bring a boy home? Let's do that. I know how to treat you guys.
You do well with boys.
I do well with boys. And that I give off that boy mom energy, I think.
Good thing you didn't have any girls.
Wanted one, though. I think my husband would have been a good girl dad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would have been wrapped. But, yeah, now I'm the only girl.
Mine.
Yeah, it's still Emily's. Now, would you ever move to any of these places, or do you just like visiting?
Oh, I would definitely move. Let me...
You got it?
Yeah, sorry.
You're fine.
I'd live in Paris in a heartbeat. And there's a great little comedy scene there. Lots of expats.
And there's a few English festivals that go on there, and Avignon and everything. Do you know? Or
there's a couple clubs there. I don't know about festivals in Paris. One guy does an American comedy night. Sebastian Marks, wonderful guy from New York who's lived in Paris for 20 years. Another older guy, Carol Beer, who was the first to do English language comedy there. Mostly brings people over from England. And there's a guy named Hugo who does a British comedy night. Pretty cool. But you'd have to have money in the bank,
right,
to live there as an English speaking comedian.
Now, are you a novelty there, or?
I try to play there once a year. 100-seat rooms. Usually draw. I was there 2 months ago, and it was sold out. I think the room sat 150. But normally be a 100-seat room, and I'll pull in 80, 90 people.
Right.
It's never a big money maker. The other gigs in Europe, you pad it with money making gigs. And just go to Paris because you enjoy it.
Right. Oh no, I don't understand what making money off of gigs means yet. So I'm like, wait, what? Drink ticket, right? That's what that means. If you get enough people, you get the free drink ticket.
But I'm editing my next live comedy album.
Okay.
For the last 2 years, I've been recording all of my international shows. And I don't think anything has ever been done like this. I'm going to release it in January.
Okay.
It should be done in the next month, hopefully. So every track is a different city around the world. And it's like, I think the shortest track is like 4 minutes. So it's usually like 4 to 8 minutes. And it's all mostly jokes and stories about those places.
Okay.
Because I've been doing the international circuits for 20 years. And a lot of places I've got lots of stories and jokes about, personal stories. So, do you want to hear the list?
Yeah.
Paris, Amsterdam, Antwerp, Zurich, Porto, Portugal, Berlin, Dublin, Galway, Belfast, Oslo, Stockholm, Vancouver, Sydney, Bangkok, Manila, Hanoi, Hong Kong, Shanghai, Beijing, and Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. And next week I'm going to do this tour in Israel, and I hope to have Tel Aviv and Jerusalem.
Okay.
So it's cool. I'll do these like writing projects before I go to a country. I'll like research everything I can about it, and try and write a few minutes of material about those places.
Right. It's almost like a comedy documentary and little tiny it's like a quilt.
I've been trying to make a television show where I'm the Anthony Bourdain of comedy.
Cool.
That would be
checking
cool.
out comedy scenes around the world, highlighting comedians from those places, and I'm friends with famous comedians from every country,
Right.
and lesser known, interesting people, and I think it's endlessly fascinating. What are people making jokes about in other countries? What do they find funny? How do they use humor to survive and deal with their problems?
Right. How do they?
That's what comedy is mostly. People just taking things and.
Yeah, and there's even aside from Israel, there's a comedy festival in Ramallah on the Palestinian side every August. Palestinian American comedian from Detroit puts it on.
Wow.
My nose is all locked up. I apologize.
No, it's kind of a good thing. It just means your lymphatic system.
Right.
I mean, besides your cold, it also your lymphatic system is moving.
It means the massage is working.
It does. I'm doing something right,
Okay, good.
which is a first. But hey,
Oh,
even a broken clock gets the time right twice a day, right?
you and Schubert use that expression.
Does he really?
Yeah, Schubert always said that.
Schubert killed
Even a
me.
blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. Yeah, I love Schubert.
I adore him. But I had him on the table, and then I drove him home, and then on the drive home, he was telling me all of these fascinating stories. And I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Oh, wow.
Why? Why didn't you say this when you were on the table? And he went to Dubai the next day after his massage. So he needed a massage to be on a plane. He's like, that's a really good massage. I'm like, yeah, but let's talk. I need the story. Let's make this interesting, please, sir.
So, can I tell you what's interesting about Fresno?
Yeah. Yes, please do.
So, I was in Paris a couple months ago, and there was a guy from Fresno. I'm like, is it any Americans here? And I always ask if there's someone from a different country.
Uh-huh.
Because I always have jokes and stories about almost everywhere. I'll get stumped every once in a while with a Azerbaijan or a Lithuania. But there was a dude in the audience from Fresno. And he goes, it's a shithole, I know, you can make fun of it. I said, no, actually, Fresno, there's a beautiful thing happening in Fresno right now. You should be proud. I read the story in the New York Times earlier this year about Fresno is where the predominant number of Syrian refugees to the United States have settled.
Yes.
And all of the churches from every different denomination in the Fresno area has all helped these people get cars, get jobs, find housing. It's really beautiful how the community of Fresno has all helped these people settle. And so these Syrian refugees sent messages out to other Syrian refugees who came to America, and they said, hey man, fuck Dothan, Alabama, or wherever they went, Syracuse, New York, or wherever, you should come to Fresno. So a lot of people that came and were really struggling in other parts of America, there's a massive settlement of Syrian refugees in the Fresno area.
I knew some of that, but let's see, Fresno. I went to Fresno State because they gave me money to go there, and I was like, okay, let's do that. But I'm from Madera, which is kind of like the racist hillbilly stepsister of Fresno, so it's like Fresno is going to town. In fact, when my kids go and visit my parents, and I call them, I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, oh, we're going to town. I'm going to have to reprogram you when you come home. Okay. That's going to happen.
Well, to Madera and Fresno.
Yes. I don't know if anybody listens in Madera or Fresno.
Yeah, well, we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah. I mean, it's like the point where my kids have a pean tree at my parents' house. They have a tree that they...
Pean tree?
Uh-huh.
What kind of tree?
A tree they can go outside and pee on.
Oh, a pean tree.
Yeah, a pean tree.
It's always a nice treat to pee outside.
Oh, they love it. And then they come home, and I'm like, okay, that's for Grandma and Grandpa.
Oh, right there.
That is
Oh, yes.
Mommy's. And yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus. Oh, wow.
You are locked up right here.
Yeah, I'm having some problems.
I can feel it. You've got this thing I've been working on, too. Right by your scapula. It's just... It likes you because it doesn't want to leave. This is your naughty friend.
So growing up in Florida, did you always want to travel?
Yeah.
You wanted to find a way to be able to do that growing up?
Well, I wanted to be a comedian since I was 12, or 11 actually. My family's originally from Washington, D.C., and my father loved stand-up comedy, specifically Richard Pryor. My dad had tons of Pryor records, and also Bob Newhart. My dad loved Bob Newhart, but Pryor was his king. I remember being a little kid driving around with my dad listening to Pryor tapes in the car. So just stand-up was very revered in my family. And my father was a Vietnam veteran.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he flew helicopters in the war, was shot down, survived. He had a real dark sense of humor, which has always served me well.
Yes.
And then my uncle did open mic night comedy for 1 year in 1978. I was 11. My dad took me to see him. Who takes an 11-year-old kid to a bar?
I have.
My father.
Well, my kids are younger, but I put headphones on them and told them to sit in the corner because my husband works for the Navy and he goes out to sea, and it was right when I was like deciding to do comedy, and I'd get these weird little, hey Joey, we'll give you 3 minutes, and I'm like, okay, but I have to bring my kid, so I have to leave as soon as it's over. And I throw headphones on them, go up and do my set, and then take off.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't hear what's going on.
I mean, they talk to him. They're like, hey. And then, of course, my youngest is very attention whorish. So as soon as they start talking to him, he's like, yeah, that's your big knot.
So my dad took me to this comedy open mic night in Washington, D.C., this club called El Brookman's. I think Louis Black started there, a lot of people. And the entrance was by the stage, and I was wearing a Washington Redskins jacket. And the comedian on stage pulled me on stage, and he interviewed me like I was the coach of the Redskins. And I was 11 and bashful. Gave one-word answers, yes and no. But I'll never forget standing on that stage and seeing all those happy people with their heads thrown back in laughter and all the teeth in their mouth. There was black people, and there was Latino people, and white people. It just seemed like this magical place where everybody was happy. All the flavors of humanity were getting along for the common purpose of laughter.
Right.
So I sat at the bar and sipped Cokes for the rest of the night, watched these comedians, and then I was obsessed with it. It became my only thing I was interested in. And it was, great time. Saturday Night Live was beginning, so I'd stay up late and watch SNL in those early years. watched Carson. I've always watched the comedians. They'd be on like, those daytime shows like Merv Griffin and Mike Douglas and shit. I'd look at the TV Guide and Circle whenever they'd have a comedian on. And I became a student of comedy. And I remember when I was like 15, Rodney Dangerfield was my hero. And I memorized all of Rodney's jokes. Listened to his albums over and over. And, Eddie Murphy Delirious. And I started doing stuff in high school. I hosted the pep rallies and the talent shows. And then when I was 17, I took a fake ID. There was a local comedy club in Orlando called the Funny Farm. And I went there and did their open mic night. And it was like it was just a Friday, Saturday club. And it was kind of cool. They had rehearsals on Mondays. So that became my thing. Instead of going to dances and football games, I was going to the comedy club every weekend.
Right.
And it was just local comedians at the first year. And on Mondays they would have rehearsals and people would bring sketch ideas because nobody knew what they were doing. So it was kind of cool that it would, on the weekend shows, it would be a comedian, a sketch, comedian, sketch, comedian, sketch. So not only would you get to do a set, you'd get to act in a sketch. And that was pretty cool.
Right.
And then they started bringing in traveling comedians. And I started doing shit. My senior year in high school, I started doing one-nighters around Florida. I started working with Brian Regan. He's one of my oldest best friends in comedy. I remember doing like tough biker bars in Daytona Beach with him. He was still squeaky clean and hilarious.
Why women love him.
And did you say women's love him?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I went right on the road right after I graduated high school. Like 2 weeks later, I was booked in Tulsa, Oklahoma to MC for $150.
Good for you, though. Like, you don't hear those stories anymore, I don't think. And I love the fact that you, like, studied it. I feel like a lot of that has gone off the wayside now.
Yeah, I've got some spiral notebooks over there from when I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
There's a joke in there. Remember the late 80s, mid 80s, Africa was starving. They had Live Aid and all those concerts to, help the famine relief. And Paisley was very popular in men's fashions. So this is a joke from my 17-year-old spiral notebook. I donated some clothes to charity, and the man at the charity shop said that these clothes were going to be sent to Africa. Oh, I can see somebody in Africa wearing my clothes going, gee, I hope this Paisley vest doesn't clash with my genitals.
It's fun looking. I don't know. Is it fun looking back, or is it sometimes just horrific looking back?
Oh, yeah, well, it depends. I mean, you look at my comedy notebooks and different periods, there's pages and pages of heartbreak and crying over some girl, or, depends what period of my life.
Right, because
years of drug addiction, booze, where the handwriting is a little harder to read.
Because I go back and I've written my whole life. Like, I write all the time. And I'm a romantic, too, because I have 6 romance books out. Because I'm that girl that everybody has to have a happy ending. And I'm going to write it so everybody's happy in the end. Because if it happens in books, it can happen in real life. And I'll go back and read some of the stuff I wrote. And I'm like, oh, no. What were you doing?
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing. Like, hey, Emily, behind that chair is a thing. Can you plug in that? The lights will all come on.
Okay. Oh.
You see the white thing?
Yes.
Okay. That's the thing. Like, I remember years ago when I was on the road and I was a young wild man partier. You forget your comedy notebook somewhere on a bar or somewhere, and somebody contacts you. Hey, I found your notebook. You go to get it back, and you can tell by the look on their face that they read your shit. They were disturbed by some of it.
Well, just like I've had, people who are like, okay, Joy, I read your books, which I don't like hearing, but they're like, oh, I love blah, 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 and I'll either forget I wrote that scene. I mean, because my first book I published 4.5 years ago.
You published a book? Cool.
I did, they're self-published, so it doesn't count. But, and they're like, have you reread them? And I haven't went back and reread my books because I'm just, I don't know. I don't want to. I read the reviews and I memorize the 1 stars, but she got
hold on to that.
I can give you the 1 stars verbatim, the 5 stars. No, but
do you enjoy when people quote back your jokes to you?
I think that's the one of the greatest joys in life for me. When people will remind me of a joke of mine that I've long forgotten. You go, oh man, like when you do a joke or the way you say something, I've gotten emails from people that are like, man, me and my girlfriend for forever we've been. Well, they'll use your joke and they're like kind of everyday vocabulary.
Yeah. You become their vernacular.
You become their vernacular, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But when people will quote a joke back to me that they loved, that a joke that I was doing 20 years ago, that they saw on Comedy Central or something 10 years ago or whatever, I think that's the greatest joy in the world.
No, it is fun.
Good, because I would like to say that I concept that joke that you have right now, where the end is I wrote that joke with hate in my heart.
I assure you, I wrote the joke with hatred in my heart.
Yeah, I say that at the Comedy Store in the kitchen, probably 3 times a day.
That's great. There's a really great friend of mine in San Francisco, and it's a joke that it's something that I was doing. I forget what. See, that's a throwaway line after the actual joke. Mm-hmm. Well, no, I guess it's part of it because it's the story where the woman got upset at a Trump joke that I did and she walked out. But there's this thing that I used to say years ago. I forget, but I would say it. I forget after what kind of joke, but I would say, "There's love in my hate." And so my friend, she still says that all the time. When we're together, she will always say, "There's love in my hate."
Oh,
I love that.
Yeah, because it also gets to bring you back to a good time. Remember that?
Well, just to know that you touch somebody, it's great. So now the next time I do that line, I'll think of you that line.
Oh.
And it's just great when something you created touches somebody enough that they not only remembered it, they found it amusing enough to amuse themselves with it later,
Right.
You see all the books here.
Yes.
I'm a big reader, and I love music. See all my vinyl records on the other side of the room. Mm-hmm. It's all about creation. It's all about the story. The best art, the books and movies, and jokes are usually stories. And, there's certain lines that I read in books or lines from songs that really touched you deep in your heart.
Yes.
And it's almost like they belong to you.
Yes.
And they give you warmth and comfort in your life. It's such a personal thing. And you can see I got tons of Henry Miller books and Charles Bukowski, but also I love non-fiction mostly. And I like history and real life shit. I don't like too much fiction. I don't like made up shit. I like real shit. Yeah. But you carry this just art that means something to you, and that's what I think.
That's funny when you're ready.
I prize comedy above all the other arts because I dedicated my life to it. And there's jokes by comedians I love that have the same effect on me that I think about. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
It could be in your life.
Scoot down a little bit more.
I love the jokes. They stick in your head. And I think the biggest compliment is when somebody's like, I think about your joke like once a month or every week or something like that. There's something about it that it keeps popping up in their life. Mm-hmm. Like you're saying, like you become someone's vernacular, or other comedians saying, oh, this joke, it's the happiest.
Yeah, or then if it's another comedian.
Yeah. Oh.
Joey Diaz called me
mm-hmm.
a month or two ago, and I've known Joey for years. I love the guy, and he really surprised me. I just want you to know, I watched your set last night at the Comedy Store, and brother, goddamn, you're such a master. And the way you do your phrasing and the joke structure, and he just called me to compliment me, and it was like one of the highlights of my decade.
Right.
So like when a regular person says, "Hey man, I've been quoting your joke for years," is a really great feeling. But then when it's your comedy brothers or sisters, then it elevates the compliment to euphoria.
That's funny. We were just talking about that yesterday, where when we make you guys laugh, we get extra excited because we're like, okay, we're on the right path. Like, we've got this.
If we make a paid regular laugh,
yes,
or even giggle, or like, that's a good joke, you do that on stage, we're just like, oh my god, it's the best day. It's the best day ever.
That's great. I love the Comedy Store, and all the people working there are awesome. I forget the guy's name. He's one of the doormen, and it was like about 6 months ago or something. He said, I want to ask you, I love the way you move on stage, and I figured it out. Are you doing like a figure eight up there on stage, the way you move?
Is this Isaac?
And I said, no. I love moving around on stage. I never stand perfectly still. And one of the greatest pieces of advice is when I was younger, a comedian told me, shit in all four corners. Like, make the whole stage your own. So I'll try and touch my feet on like every part of the stage while I'm on. And not always, but if I'm moving and feeling it, it's working. And this guy thought I had a pattern, and I told him there's no pattern.
Yeah.
And a few people told me I move like a boxer on stage.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I'm up, back, over, circles. It's not something I'm thinking about or planning. It's just like how I'm feeling it.
I love park and barking. That's my favorite.
What is it?
Like you park yourself on stage and then you just bark at people. Because before I did comedy, I did musical theater a lot, and that has choreography. But most of the parts that I had for singing, it was a big song, and they would just get you to stand and sing the song. So that's what I got used to doing.
Nice.
And it just kind of
So
transferred
you
into
tell her
comedy.
your jokes like this?
Kind of. Mom,
Look at me.
yell to the back of the stage. No, but I love watching really physical comics because I'm not. And it's just so inspiring to watch you guys.
Just relax, I got you.
Oh, more neck and shoulders, please.
You got it.
Oh my god. So you don't think I need an MRI?
I don't want to say
But it doesn't seem to be going away, this problem.
right.
I'll put some tiger balm on it. It'll give me a little bit of relief, but I'll
You know what?
yeah, I think it's a serious problem.
Do you?
Yeah, I mean, it's constantly. That's why when you said you wanted to do this, I was like, please, how soon can you come over? Yeah, right there. Gee, that's the spot.
Yeah. I mean, you know your own body, so obviously you're going to know if something's wrong.
Right there, that's oh shit.
I feel more,
Oh shit.
yeah, I feel more muscular.
What's your professional?
My professional opinion is it's just really muscular, and ice will help because it is inflamed. Ice is your best friend.
It's been like that for Over 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Ice it?
Uh-huh.
So the tiger balm is going to be the opposite of what I should do?
Well, okay, so ice is what's going to heal you.
Okay.
Ice is what you want to do when you are done with the day and you don't need to move anymore and you are able to give your body the energy to heal. Heat is when you need to freaking be able to move and you need to be able to be comfortable and not in pain. So heat in the morning right before you go out. Heat, like if you're going to go somewhere and you need your muscles to be nice and relaxed. But ice is what heals you.
Okay, I'll start giving another shot.
But, I mean, everything I'm feeling, I don't feel any...
Feel that pop?
Uh-huh.
What was that?
That's all muscle.
Right.
It's all muscle, it's all ligament, it's all tendon. I don't feel any bone. I don't think anything's wrong with the bone. So MRI is just going to show you bone.
Okay.
It'll show you, like, if you have disc degeneration with, you know, the pads in between each vertebrae. But, yeah, I don't, like, an MRI is just going to tell you about bone.
Oh, shit. More of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the thumb on the, oh, yeah. Thumb on the neck. Thumb on the neck.
So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. Can we linger there for a minute?
Sure we can.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, joy. Oh, joy.
Oh, joy. At least you don't moan. I have
Oh, joy.
I have a firefighter captain.
And he moans?
And he moans my name.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that sound like?
Oh, joy. Oh, joy. And my doctor will sit in his office, and because our walls are so thin, and you can hear him just dying laughing. And I, like, by the time I leave, I am bright red. I'm so embarrassed.
I need that guy. Should be investigated.
Yeah.
She's got a couple.
Yeah.
Somebody should look at his hard drive.
He also
Friday afternoon, she's a very bad girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
Friday afternoon every
Oh,
I
joy.
can't say that.
Oh,
time.
joy, right there.
But yeah.
Oh, shit, that's it. Oh, my Lord.
But he also, like, he
Oh,
was
well,
like,
you don't think that's like a tendon problem or something?
it could be. Okay,
Like,
because you have
what can I do other than ice?
you have your paraspinals, right? So you have all these muscles that go all the way up your spine, and they connect here on your occipital ridge, which is right here, your occipital bone on your skull. And so a lot of those are tendons, a lot of those are ligaments because it's connecting so much between your shoulder girdle and your neck. You have two girdles. You have a pelvic girdle as well.
I told you I was girly.
Yeah. You would have been my favorite son. No. So because see, everything that, when I hit something and you're like right there, it's all muscle. Like at no point have I been hitting bone. And
Okay,
like,
good. So I can't afford it anymore. So you're the one that tells me I don't need one of that.
We need to do a disclaimer on the end of this show.
I have so much pain, you know.
No, and it is painful. And you have to think, okay, ligaments and tendons they have no blood supply to them. Like if you've ever seen like a chicken or a dead animal or anything like that, the ligaments and tendons are white. Muscle is red. Muscle has blood flow. Tendons and ligaments do not. So if anything happens to a tendon and a ligament, it takes longer to heal because there's no nutrients from the blood going towards it. So it just takes a while to heal all of that. And I think what happened is you just hurt one thing.
This is like Rembrandt's Dr. Tulp's anatomy lesson.
I can go harder. I don't mean to. I start talking about the body and I'm like, ooh, it's like, yeah, I get to, everyone's listening. Let me tell you about your body. It's fascinating. The body is a fascinating piece of work.
Well, the body is an amazing healing machine.
Yes, it
That's
is.
why I don't know why I haven't healed yet. One very angry massage in a long time.
But see, also you have to think too, when something is hurting, your body,
That's the spot right there. That's what's killing me right there.
your body will compensate. So if one muscle is hurting, you'll maybe lift your shoulder higher, or you'll lower your shoulder just to make that part feel better. But by doing that, you're engaging a different muscle, and that muscle's going to start hurting.
Oof.
So it's like a domino effect. You know, that song, heads not connected to. It's true. Everything's connected to each other.
Oh, you got me right on it. That's it right there. What do you feel?
It's just not. It's aggravated.
You could down that out.
It's fighting me.
Fighting you?
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
You can feel it like pulsing. It's trying to kick me out. It's like, I don't like this. You're going to get more relief in like 2 hours when I'm gone. Because right now your body is on defense. It's like, well, what the hell? This chick is beating us up. And then I'm going to leave, and then it's going to be like, okay, she's gone. And that's when it should.
Kind of styling the furniture arrangement.
I don't have spirits of dead warriors constantly around me, from Mongolia to Vietnam, everywhere I've traveled, but you think they would enjoy a good massage. Eddie, soldier. Oh, yeah. Motherfucker. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, and all of that is muscle. I'm not touching any bone. It's all muscular. I think ice for like a week, you should feel a difference. If not, then maybe you need to see something.
Oh, what I see.
Doctor.
Well, like a chiropractor?
You do chiropractor. Like I work for a chiropractor, so.
What other kind of doctor option is there?
Well, you don't if you do anything right now, it's going to be orthopedics because they're going to want to go in and cut it open. But there's nothing.
Oh yeah.
I'm serious. I think. I don't know how your body responds to chiropractic because every body is different and every body responds differently to specific treatment. So if your body's not a chiropractic body, then there's no point. There's like some people, like same with diets, like some people will go on a diet and they'll lose 70 pounds and somebody else will go on that same diet and they won't lose anything. It's just that chemistry and their body didn't respond the same way.
Right, you mentioned surgery. I'm like, surgery?
No, you don't need surgery. You just need a lot of massage.
Oh, good. Well, I can do that.
I think massage would help you a lot.
It's probably just a lot of working out what was hurt. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From the non-massage therapist.
I mean, this isn't something that's going to be healed in days, but it was a good start. Your body does respond really well.
Well, there's been times where I've gotten massages and I'll just, in years pass, and I'll just say, just do the neck and the shoulders.
That's what Tony Hinchcliffe, he's like, when you come to my house and I'm on your podcast, I just want you to do my shoulders. I'm like, okay. There's nothing much more to you. You tiny little thing. Yeah, that would be good too. It's just to have a shoulder massage where you just work out. Because I bet your pecs are tight too. As bad as they're going to be. Because all these muscles are connected. All of these things are holding your shoulders towards your neck.
I'm not normally a mouth breather.
No, that's good. I mean, the lymphatic system is draining and getting rid of all of the shit over it.
That's why my nose is locked up.
That is why your nose is locked. You're going to drink a bunch of water and push all that out.
Okay.
Now, is there anything you want to plug or finishing up?
Yeah, this album, and I think it's the greatest thing I've ever done.
I'm excited.
And I think I'm going to press vinyl. It'll be digital on iTunes and all that, but I think it might end up being like 2 hours.
That'd be awesome.
And I just did the London tracks last night, and what I got left, I got to do Switzerland, and yeah, it's pretty epic.
That's awesome. All right, on your podcast?
My podcast is Tom Rhodes Radio Smart Camp. These are what my nipples look like.
Very nice.
They're small, and they get hard like little pebbles. It's really cute.
Little pebble nipples.
Yeah, I very little.
You do, which is nice.
And no back hair.
No, which is even more nice. I have massaged the human carpet before. That was fun. Can you get around you?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Yay! Oh, yeah. All right, that's that for this episode. I hope you guys liked it. I adore Tom Rhodes, and now I adore him even more. And so we're done with this episode. We'll see you next episode, or not see you. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. But please like, comment, subscribe, send emails. I appreciate all of you listening, and have a good week.